welcome to another interesting episode of Inside Out. And you know we have a very lively audience, you can tell. Everybody is in high spirits. And today we're discussing something that I'm hoping will put us in higher spirits and not lower spirits, because we need to do something about it. A lot of the time we hear the comment going green. People are talking about it on TV, they're discussing it all over the world. We're talking about depletion in the ozone layer. I found out that a lot of people don't even understand what going green means. Who can tell me about going green on this side of town?
Going green is a global initiative toward reducing pollution and conserving energy. It also involves reusing, reducing, and recycling of waste material.
Anybody else have anything? Does anybody else have anything different to say? I just wanted to see what percentage of this very small audience here has an idea what we mean when we even say going green. And that is why I want to talk to you, Kena. What is your understanding?
Going green actually is an initiative to basically make the earth we're living in last as long as it should. But I think going green can be personalized and becomes a mindset. Going green should not just be an initiative of avoiding pollution or reusing, reducing, and recycling. I think it should be a mindset of knowing. It shouldn't be avoiding pollution specifically or recycling or throwing your waste away. It should be a general mindset to adopt.
It should be like a way of life.
It should be a way of life that you know that anything you're doing at that particular moment is not harmful to the moment, is not harmful to the environment at all. That's
okay.
Going green.
I hold you there. I know there's more to come. Let me talk to you, Mr. Imajakudumi.
Do you realize that protecting the environment is actually the most important duty that every human being has? And you will say yes to this question, but I'll ask you a second question. And that second question is, and you're going to say no to this second question, by the way. All of you will say no. And when you say no to the second question, you will have said yes to the first question. Now, do you want to hear the second question?
Yes.
Can anybody here hold your breath for 10 minutes? No. Agatha, thank God they said no.
Okay.
Because if anybody said yes, it means
they would have had to come and do it here.
It means there's spirit. and I'm out of here. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can't hold your breath for 10 minutes. Why? Because you need to breathe. What is it that you need to breathe? Oxygen. And where does the oxygen come from? Every green plant that you see, every green leaf around you, on the earth and even in the sea, because there's green in the sea as well. What does it do? Its job is to produce oxygen. So when we're talking about going green, as this young man said so eloquently, I just love the way he expressed himself. When we're talking about going green, we're actually talking about protecting that one thing that is the most essential commodity for life, which is oxygen. Because the trees and all those things is part of the environment. So definitely it's protecting your life support system.
You have an NGO called Children and the Environment. That's right. Why the environment? Why are you so concerned with the environment?
Nature study was my favorite subject in primary school. I went to.
Do we still do nature study?
I doubt it. You're like, Well, I guess I was privileged to go to Corona, Ikoyi, and nature study wasn't just a subject you hear about. No, we actually go out. You go into the woods. You go and see nature, and you go back to the class. We had a scrapbook. You pick a lot of things from nature and you put it there. That's when it is will grow. We'll plant a seed and see how it will grow. We had garden in our house. You know, we would pick peppers up. I remember we would okra. I remember, and also of leaves, tomatoes. I remember we would actually plant it in our garden, and it was the beauty of it was being able to have it on our food, on our table.
So what's wrong now?
It's all concretized. It is all concrete. The place that we have been garden is a garage because the average person in that area has 7 cars. For what reason, I have no idea. Because that's also causing pollution. Because too many cars. Why does one human being need 7 cars, 4 cars, 3 cars?
Mother,
Why?
let me talk to you, Andy. Going green.
They have spoken grammar. As they have been talking, I'm happy when you describe in Niger butter. I'm sorry, I'll go in pidgin here. At least let's understand ourselves. Let me ask you people a question. How many people know fuel scarcity? Everybody knows fuel scarcity. Nobody knows going green. Because the problems people have now, they don't even, going green is big English. People are trying to survive. Nobody, it's one thing, you have to survive first to be able to think about your environment. So the going green doesn't come in. The challenges, like they say, the challenges we are having now is one of, the people are so battered with so many challenges that they'll give them little or no time to think of the environment as much as they would have wanted to. Now, okay, you say you want to go green, don't use generator. Life will be miserable. As much as you say, okay, look, let's don't use the generator. You can't, right now, you can't survive without the generators. Otherwise, what do you do?
So
Yes.
are you saying it's not possible for us to execute the going green thing?
How many government people actually know what it means to be going green? First, you have to know it before you now say, okay, now, what are we going to do? Plenty of people do not know the idea of what going green means. So how do you want to start to do something you don't even know?
Wow. Okay. Yes, that's one. Because I'm taking it, I want to continue the conversation from where he stopped.
Yeah.
He made some valid points.
He certainly did. He did. Necessity, basic ingredients of life. But he also emphasized on this point of the leadership. I'm sorry, but it's actually come down to that. And I know, some people are very sensitive about talking about the leadership, maybe because they don't want to annoy them. But the reality is that the truth has to be told. That's just the reality. And the truth of the matter is that it's the leadership of our nation that needs to ensure that those correct policies are put in place.
In Nigeria today, we're faced with so many challenges, as he has said. I mean, he has pointed out some very obvious things. Just the art of surviving from day to day. How do you get people who are, let me use the word, bombarded with problems? How do you get them to understand, for instance, that thinking green should be one of the things they bother about?
The first thing they should think about is light. In the beginning, there was a void, and God said, let there be light. There needs to be light in Nigeria. There needs to be steady electricity in this country. It's going to solve so many of the problems, and that, in a way, is going to be the beginning of the process of us going green, because you won't have tens of millions of little generators all over the place. Do you know how dangerous these generators are? People have done tests. It doesn't matter, even if the generator is only 5 feet away from your room, and you think, oh, you're safe. You're not. You're not. There's particles that are coming out of that generator that are bad. A typical generator needs to be at least 20 feet away from your room. How many people can keep the generator 20 feet away from their room? We need to have steady 24/7 light in this country, because we are the 8th largest producer of oil and gas. We're the 2nd or 3rd largest producer of gas, which is also a viable source of electricity. Once we have steady light in this country, we get rid of all the generators. That's a first step in the way to going green, and it's also a very viable step in the way to alleviating some of the poverty. It's not rocket science. If the hairdresser doesn't have to use their generator, they're going to make a lot more money. If the vulcanizer doesn't have to use their generator, they're going to make a lot more money. Anybody using it is going to make a lot more money.
Do you find out a lot of young people like you are interested when you talk to them about the environment?
What do I find out that they are interested in?
Yes, are they interested in conversation like that when you're not
About
talking
the
about
environment.
music and, the kind of things, movies and stuff? When you call them to talk about in the environment, what is the reaction?
There is no interest in the environment. The environment people don't find anything they do, no relation to the environment because there's a lot of more interesting things out there. When people talk about their favorite celebrity, their favorite movies and music, it's a lot more interesting than talking about planting a tree to see your children live. So when there's all that kind of things in mind, it just takes the concept of the environment out of other people's minds.
What can we as individuals do?
For me, in terms of environment, I'll say that the greatest challenge in Nigeria right now is litter.
Litter.
Yes. And people don't think about it. You know, you're falling ill all the time. A lot of people, they think it's some woman or one witch in the village that is doing them. Nobody's doing anything. It's you. It's your lifestyle. It's the pollution. It's you're not caring for the environment, like Desmond said. You need to care everywhere. I asked the average child, have you ever had your parents throw rubbish on the floor? Yes. I have not seen any that will say no. The landfills are already filled up, and we're throwing it all over the place. We don't know the implication to our health. We're not thinking about it. I mean, when you ask somebody, why do you throw it away? And somebody's going to clean it. Who is somebody? You are somebody. We are all somebody. We are all somebody.
Now everybody is talking about the generator set because of the power that is not sufficient in Nigeria. Though, what if the government supply us with the power we wanted? What about the trucks, the vehicles that moves, the fumes that come out of it? Are they not harmful to the environment as we have seen? And if it is harmful, what is the solution to that too?
They're all very, very, very harmful. You can't keep yourself inside the room and keep the engine of the car running more than 15, 30 minutes. It will kill you. That's how harmful it is. Especially the trucks that we allow inside Lagos. Some of them, I don't know why they like to have smoke screen. Maybe they don't want people to see their license plates or something. It's terrible. It's a very, very good point. And we need to continue cleaning up the atmosphere. Again, it's down to responsible leadership. If the leadership really cares for the people, they will ensure, they'll do everything in their power
There
to
are some
ensure.
cars that I don't even think should be on the road.
Anywhere in the world.
Exactly.
So first of all, they can cause accidents. Let's not even talk about fumes.
Yes.
Once they are moving, you have to give them space.
Yeah.
Because you can wind up.
Yeah.
Because you can't see anything in front of you.
Yes, and just to add to that, something that should be done immediately, those poor guys controlling traffic on the streets, they should have face masks. They should,
Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
My name is Ajayi Smiler.
Okay.
I believe that we've been saying something about going green, which I've learned from my father. My father was able to build so many houses, but within those houses, you can't find nothing less than 20 trees inside the compound.
Beautiful.
I asked him a question. I said, Daddy, why are you doing this? He said, you don't understand the nature. But when I tried to understand about the nature, I found out that it goes a long way. That's to that. But I believe that with this very particular initiation of what you are doing now, I believe there should be a bill that should be passed to the Senate, trying to sensitize the government or the nation itself, Nigeria, that if they can pass the bill on homosexual or thereabouts, definitely they should be able to what? To pass a bill concerning our waste products, so that the country can be clean.
Let me say thank you very much. I want to get last line, something that people at home, viewers can go away with. Andy, I'll start with you.
It's very simple. Do your best.
DK now, yeah?
Don't try to change the world, change yourself first.
Start with one man campaign, and that is you.
Everybody is saying the same thing.
You have to decide whether you're going to be part of the problem or part of the solution, and the color of the solution is green.
I personally am going to take it up. And like you've pointed out, TV, media, we need to play our role.
Yeah.
And until next week, when we come your way again, talking about something else, equally as interesting, the color of the change is what?
Green.
Bye-bye.